Hello and welcome back to my craft room. My poster just brought me 3 pieces of Happy Mail. It's definitely a red letter day, or it's a brown and yellow letter day. Now I think one of these might be a heart swap because it's from Sharon in Canada. One I can see is from Christine, Create and Craft with Christine in Australia, and I think that's probably going to be a piece for our Bonkers community quilt. The other one, it's quite a fat, thick, heavy piece with lumpy bits in. I absolutely no idea. So I thought I might do 3 separate films, and I thought, no, I'll just open them all at once and we'll find out what's inside. I need my letter opener. I think I'm going to have to do the completely mysterious one first. It might turn out to be something I've ordered. Might be a pair of socks or something. Don't think so. Right, let's take you to my desk. It's quite funny, just as the Arty Farty Hearties Swap is drawing to a close, I'm now starting to get pieces coming in for the quilt. So yeah. Whoa! Oh, look at this. Let's make sure I'm not leaving anything behind. I've got some beautiful threads. Look at those lovely colours. And variegated. I love variegated. Who is this from? I think this must be a piece of the quilt. Let's have a look at the card first. How beautiful. Wrong way up. Wow, I'm trying to recognise the Lou. Dear Annie, thank you for all the lovely projects you share and your channel. I find it very inspirational. Please use enclosed bits as you see fit, as you may have too many for the quilt project. Oh, not so far. We're all right so far. Much love to you and your family. Lou, looking forward to more eye candy. Hey, how beautiful. Thank you, Lou. Oh, how lovely, Lou. I love the card. Absolutely beautiful. That'll be one I'll keep in my little stash. Gorgeous kind of granulated watercolour background with the doodling over the top. One of those things I always, other people do this and make it look easy. And I've never been very good at doing it. And the threads, definitely, I will use the threads. I'll either use them myself here while I'm stitching the quilt pieces on, or I'll take them with me for other people to use if there's any left, because we're going to possibly have a lot of people doing a lot of stitching, so you can never have too much thread. Dying to see this. I've just totally wrecked it, haven't I? I'll keep the tissue for my collage. Oh, that's the lumpy thing I could fit. Oh, look at this. I love that. Oh, what a lovely little surprise. I love Day of the Dead imagery. That is gorgeous. I might put a little magnet. I've got lots of little round magnets. I might put a magnet on the back of that and use it as a little fridge magnet. Look. Oh, there's lots of them. Oh, look. Oh, they are fab. I love those, Lou. Thank you. Ooh, don't break them on the glass. We've got lots of pieces. Oh. How exciting. I don't know what to look at first. Okay, let's leave that one folded over. This one has unfurled itself first. Beautiful. Different sizes. The pieces for the quilt can be anything from, I would say, from about 5 centimetres, the smallest, up to about 20 centimetres. Any shape and size. They don't have to be a regular shape at all. I want it to end up looking like a kind of crazy quilt effect, so they don't need to be all kind of, I'm not going to be doing it in a grid format, so they don't need to be regular shapes. They can be any shape you like, or no shape at all. Just higgledy-piggledy. Let's have a look at this. Beautiful. So this has got, I'm trying to work out how it's done, it's got this kind of overlay of a sheer kind of pearly, iridescent looking fabric over the top here. Lovely. I imagine this is probably a hand coloured background with this kind of sheer, semi-sheer overlay, and then beautiful stitching into it. Look at all the different stitches. Love how this one's been done. So it's like a Y stitch, and then she's put little detached chain stitches in. That's a really nice effect. I'll be copying that. It's one of the lovely things about seeing bits of stitchery from other people is you, in the swaps or whatever, or that I'm getting with the quilt pieces now, it gives you lots of ideas to bring into your own work, which is lovely. French knots all over here. This lovely border stitch, I love that. I love when you combine different simple in themselves stitches combined together to create little borders and things like this. I love that the border isn't the same size all the way along, it's kind of undulating. That's really, really cute. Oh, look at this. That looks like tiny blimey, that looks like tiny bullion stitches that's made up those little stars there. That's fiddly. Cool. Mine wouldn't cut if I tried to do that. See how well the... Yeah, I think it must be. Tiny stitches. And look at all the seed stitches here as well. You don't need to worry about the backs either, because it's all going to be stitched onto the one backing. Beautiful. Oh, let's have a look at this one. Oh, look. Oh, what? How gorgeous. So this is a good example of, so Lou's done a background here, but it's left raw at the edges. The edges don't need to be finished. What will end up happening is we'll overlap slightly with other pieces. I won't overlap or stitch over people's work, but we'll overlap just sort of slightly like that. Overlap or underlap. And possibly add a little bit of stitching in here and there to blend it into the next piece, that kind of thing. So yeah, you don't need to worry about edges and backings at all. That is gorgeous. I love it. So she's collaged all these different pieces together, these flowers and leaves cut from different print fabrics, and the gorgeous little Japanese lady here, all collaged on and then stitched around. And the way the background has been made with, so it looks like fabric that she's coloured herself, perhaps with Inktense or something like that. I don't know what she's used, but yeah, something like that, to get all these lovely kind of marbly colours in the background. The whole thing gives a very kind of Japanese looking effect, actually, especially with these blossoms here. And then so she's used all these strips of fabrics here, torn strips of fabrics, to create this really interesting background, and she's added stitches down the strips here, different stitches. Gorgeous. Look at the kind of, or blossom, like cherry blossom or something on the trees. Love the way she's done that. Kind of variegated or different shades of pink French knots there, and the detached chain stitches to make the leaves. Absolutely blimmin' gorgeous. Love it. Love it. Let's have a look at this one. Look how beautifully done is that. So here again, Lou's put it on this large piece, but that will get overlapped with other things or stitched into. So yeah, just leave as much as you want around the edge, because we'll just overlap as we need to as we go along. Cool, that is beautiful. 3 very, very different pieces here. I love them all. So this is English paper pieced hexagons. I would say they're only 1/2 inch ones, because to get the measurement is what one of the straight sides measures. It's not kind of all the way across with hexagons, is it? So that's probably a 1/2 inch one. Beautiful little prints, lovely little cotton prints that she's used. She's done all the patchworking, and then she's added stitching to the individual pieces as well, and then lots of straight stitching in rainbow colours across here, which she's carried into the background. That is gorgeous. That is really gorgeous. Look at this here. I've forgotten what you call that. I have had to go at that. I wonder if those little stars that I was looking at on this one are like a tiny version of that. They could be, couldn't they? So tiny though. Absolutely beautiful. Love this fabric too. That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. They won't end up all together. They'll be in different places on the quilt probably. But yeah. So yeah, as I say, I'm not going to be kind of lining things up grid fashion like this. They're going to be higgledy-piggledy plonked wherever they land, pretty much. And then while we're actually at the event, probably some of us will be stitching pieces to put onto the quilt, and some of us will be just patching in between the pieces that I will have already stitched onto the quilt by the time we go, which is mid-August. They just are stunning, and the lovely card. Cool. Well, I was going to sit down later on and start doing some more work on the quilt, so it's good timing. It's good timing. Right, I'm going to push all these to one side a minute and see what is in the next envelope. I'll open this off camera because it's got Christine's address on one side and mine on the other. Oh, I saw Christine making this. Now I'm seeing it in real life. This is the back of it. So I've just realised I usually have my little peephole up here. So this is Create and Craft with Christine over in Australia, and she has actually shown the making of this piece on her YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link to Christine. I think most people watching me already know Christine anyway, but oh God, it feels gorgeous. This is the wrong side. This is Christine's messy backside. And what she's done is take all these tiny snips of fabric and enclose them between layers of sheer kind of, I would call it dress net or tulle, whatever you want to call it. Really fine, like it's kind of like wedding quality net. And she's then stitched through to create this new fabric. And I know she did lovely stuff on the front as well. So shall I turn over and shall we have a look, or shall we read the note first? Let's read the note first. Dear Annie, my little contribution for the fabulous community quilt project. Sending you much love, big hugs and creative joy. Thank you, Christine. Taking notes. Let's have a look at the front. Oh, and it's got some of her Nana's rick-rack on. So Christine did a project just recently, her Nana's travelling rick-rack, where she sent little packages out to people. Have some beautiful floral print and some of her Nana's rick-rack to make projects with. So yeah, and I was very lucky to get on those packages. Look at this. Oh, this is so tactile. This is a little snail, and funny enough, one of the early projects that I watched Christine doing was a slow stitch snail. She joined in with we were doing our Inspired By project at the time, like a collaboration between a few of us, and I can't even remember what the prompt was for that now. But yeah, Christine was doing this slow stitch snail by kind of mosaicing together all these tiny snippets of fabric. She's kind of done the same thing in a way, but in a very different way. So it's lovely that it's a slow stitch snail again for this project. I think that's really nice. I can't stop squeezing it because it feels so lovely. So you've got the words slow stitch snail down here in this lovely perlé thread. You can see all the lots and lots of snippets of fabrics there, and they'll all be fabrics that we've watched Christine use in her projects on her YouTube channel. So I'm sure if I look carefully I will recognise snippets of these fabrics. And then she's also made all of these tiny Suffolk puffs out of more cotton prints and arranged them spiral wise to create the snail's shell with the lovely kind of chain stitch and this chunky variegated thread in between. It's absolutely beautiful. And then the snail's body is made up with, there's another layer of the sheer net tulle type fabric, and for the snail's body, and it's all threads in there. So this bit's all snippets of fabric, this bit is all threads. This is the contents of Christine's Orts jar. Beautiful. And I love that you got the little bit of metallic running through there, which kind of reminds me a little bit of that slimy sheen on the on the snail's body. That is really cute. And how nice to have a Nana's rick-rack on there. Who knows where Nana's rick-rack's going to end up, because at the end of all of this project we will be auctioning this quilt off, and the proceeds will be going to whichever charity we decide on in the end. That will probably be going out to a vote, I think, because I'm not going to be able to decide by myself. So yeah, it could end up going anywhere in the world. So yeah, who knows where that little piece of rick-rack's going to go next. And I love that it's combined with, so it's a Nana's rick-rack and Christine's stitching, and they'll be going off to a new home together. which is lovely. I like the way she's used ribbons there to do the silk ribbon embroidery to do the little feelers on the snail. How cute is that? Utterly different. So there you go. That is, those together are a great example. There's the third one gone, of how different. Look how different these pieces are. But they will all go together into this glorious, crazy, bonkers, bizarre bonkers quilt. I just think it's going to be fantastic. I really do. My plan at the moment is the pieces that come in before I go off to the bazaar event, which is mid-August, I will stitch randomly all over the quilt, so that when we spread it out in our slow stitching corner and we're all working on it together, there'll be little pieces in front of everyone to work around, and people can either make new little pieces to add in, or they can just start taking little snippets of scraps from the bazaar scrap packs and just filling in the gaps between. That's probably what I'll be doing, and adding stitching to blend it all together and what have you. I just think we're going to end up with the most amazing bonkers quilt. It'll be a little community work of art. So I've got one more envelope, and I'm assuming that this is going to be a stitch swap. It's from Sharon in Canada, but it is quite fat. Maybe she sent me a quilt piece as well. So, oh, I know we're Arty Farty Hearties Swapsters. Oh look! Ooh. I don't know what to look at first. Okay, let's. Hi Annie, I hope you like your heart. I bet I will. As you can probably tell, I was inspired by creating craft with Christine's Inktense painted lace. Ooh, and cool kooky creatures Tori and her super owls. The extra squares, not all square, are for your bonkers quilt project. Ah, lovely. I left some room for others to add to the stitching at the bazaar event. That's absolutely perfect. Thank you, Sharon. The other scraps are for you, but if you prefer to share them for your quilt project, that would also be cool. Oh, that's lovely. Hope you and your family are having a great summer. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Let's have a look, shall we? So, these must be the pieces that she said are for me or to use on the quilt. They are lovely. Oh, it just makes you desperate to stitch into that, doesn't it? See, now I can make my own. I could use these to make my own pieces to put on the quilt, couldn't I? These are just the kind of thing I just love to stitch into. Oh yeah, all of these look, whoa, they look fab together, don't they? Look at that. Lush. Okay. I don't know what to look at first. Right. Okay, I'm going to find the heart. And then we'll look at these pieces, which will be for the quilt afterwards. From me to you with love, Sharon. That's a lovely label. She must have stamped that, I think. Beautiful. A little piece of hand dyed fabric. Beautiful, neat, felty background with blanket stitches. Let's turn over. Oh wow! Look at him. Oh, he's beautiful. Still all my goose pimples out. So yes, I can definitely see the influence of creating craft with Christine. Inktense colouring the doilies and things to make these beautiful eyes on the owl. And of course, you can definitely see Tori's influence there as well. Oh, Tori's going to love that too. How beautiful. That little heart-shaped button works so well as the beak, and it's so perfect it being the Hearty swap. Love it. Can't decide if they should go under or over. They're going over now. It is a really nice way to get some more use out of these beautiful vintage pieces of crocheted lace and doilies and things that we've got stashed away, a lot of us, or if you've made your own, you know. Always look at these and think about the person who, because there's a lot of work in this, the person who spent hours making this. And somehow I feel like maybe it's just that we're more used to looking at them when they're white or neutral coloured. But somehow when the colours added to it like this, to me it's kind of enhancing the texture. It's making all those stitches stand out more. No, is that just me? looks beautiful anyway. Love this, love it, love it. That's that fabric there, isn't it? Yeah, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it, Sharon. I love it. Oh. Now, so these two will be pieces to go on the quilt. Three pieces to go on the quilt. Okay. Oh, lovely. Oh, it's like a pocket, isn't it? It reminds me of a pocket. And yeah, another good example of it. This is, you know, this shape is absolutely ideal because it will fit in around other things, and yeah. And like Sharon says, she's left space for other people to stitch into. So say we were going to, for want of argument, we were going to end up putting this here somewhere. So say it was going to go there like that. Then what we could do is carry stitching across here, you know, carry this stitching across to sort of marry these together, or pick up some of the stitches that Lou has used here and carry them into Sharon's piece, you know, just to merge everything together. And I am going to love that process. It's going to be a little bit like when I did the books for my tags and squares in previous swaps, where I created a page with stitches inspired by the stitches on the work that someone had sent me, if that makes sense. It's going to be kind of like that, being inspired by what's already in the pieces. Yeah. So somebody could sit here working on this and think, oh yeah, I'm going to do a few of those in here. Love that. Love that. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. I love that those are pocket shaped. Do you know what occurs to me as well? I wonder if we could leave a couple of actual pockets. Actually leave them as, line them and actually leave them as pockets as well. I mean, they wouldn't be like upright, like, but it just gives me the idea that we could do that and put some kind of a message in there or something. Just an idea. It's just made me think, wouldn't that be fun? Because we had been sort of toying with the idea of commemorating the names of the people that have stitched pieces for the quilt in some way. Like, I could write them all with a heat erasable pen on a piece of fabric and then embroider them all. Depends on how many there are in the end, mind you. That might be a lot of stitching. Or all the countries that contributed, because we've had them from, so now Canada, America, Germany, Sweden, Australia. I know there's one on the way from New Zealand. Obviously UK. Maybe the different countries and a date or something. I don't know. Right, we've got one more piece to look at. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I love this. Look at that stitch. Now, I've not tried that. Love that. I need to copy that. What a good idea. So it's a bit like a kind of adaptation of the Y stitch, isn't it, really? oh, so going to be copying that. Love them. Love this one as well. See, it's like I was saying earlier on, you pinch these ideas, you see these ideas from the work that other people send you, and then you bring it into your own work. Love this. Love the fact that these have got a bit of a sheen on them, these fabrics. That's really nice. Love how that yellow shows up against those. And look, this is, again, it's like an adaptation of the Y stitch in a way, isn't it? So I'm sure there's another name for it, but it's a bit like the Y stitch, isn't it, there? And then she's done another one on the top and then detached Lazy Daisy to finish it off and create these little flowers. Wow. Oh. Well, it's really good because I've got some other pieces already to stitch onto the quilt, and now I've got these as well, so that will keep me busy all afternoon. Just all I'm doing at this stage is just stitching them on, and all the fancy stitching we'll be doing at the bazaar event. I'm just going to get myself a thumbnail. Let's put these little guys here. Love these. Just seeing them piled together like that just kind of gives you a little peek at some kind of, you squint your eyes a bit, you can kind of imagine how the quilt might end up looking, except I think they'll be even more higgledy-piggledy than I put them there actually. Oh, I can't wait to get stuck in. I think I come back up here now. I think I'm going to have to spread them all out on my big, I've got a huge low coffee table downstairs. I think that's the biggest space I've got. I'm going to spread it out on there and start stitching these on later because I can move around it. I can move around the table. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. That is it from me for today. Thank you so much to Lou and Christine and Sharon. Sharon, I absolutely love my heart. This is the last but one. I think there is one more to come in that I'm told is kind of is in the pipeline at least. But this is almost my last one. Thank you, Sharon, and thank you to all of you for the these beautiful pieces for the quilt. They're going to look amazing. I'll get stuck into that this afternoon and share pictures very soon, and I'll do a little I'll video some of the stitching as well. Maybe I could manage to spread it out on the coffee table and film it with my phone. Might be able to. It's a bit dark down there. And thank you all of you for joining me. If you want to know any more about the Bonkers Quilt project and what you have to do if you want to join in, I'll put a link to a video that tells you all about it. If you're able to join us at the Bazaar event in August, there's information about that as well. But if you're not, you can send your pieces in. But I won't go on about all of that now. It's all in that other video. Any questions at all, please don't be afraid to ask me. Just drop them in the comments and I'll see them. If you want my address to send a piece, all you need to do is email me, and you'll find that in my link tree in the description box. Okay, I'm going now. Thank you all very much for joining me. Thanks again to Sharon, Lou and Christine, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye. Can't even speak.